Are you tired of dead spots and weak Wi-Fi signals around your home? Well, mesh Wi-Fi is the solution you've been looking for and is what we'll be covering on today's episode of the Grumpy Sysadmin. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, and I'm here to shed some light on what mesh Wi-Fi is and why you need it in your home. But before we delve into that, if you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button below. This way you won't miss out on any valuable insights or the latest updates in the tech world from me, the Grumpy Sysadmin. Traditional Wi-Fi has its drawbacks. Typically, your average household has a single router or access point that provides Wi-Fi to all the devices in your home. But what happens when your home is spread out, has multiple floors, lots of walls, and maybe even is built from materials that make it more difficult for Wi-Fi signals to penetrate, like a brick or a stone fireplace, for example? I'll tell you what happens. You end up with dead spots, dropouts, and places that are a Wi-Fi ghost town. You could have a decent signal on one side of a wall, but walk to the other side of a room, and it's like a sponge came around and sucked up all your Wi-Fi bars. How many of you know of those spots in your home where you can go that your phone or other technical device can no longer access the worldwide wonderland we call the internet? I'm sure you all have had any number of places where you've experienced this and have tried to find ways to solve this conundrum. From shifting access points around to rearranging furniture, to even purchasing additional boosters or other access points to be placed in other strategic locations to try and cover those dead spots, you've only succeeded in making your Wi-Fi network that much more complicated to manage, maintain, and connect to. Wouldn't it just be nice if you could just connect once to your wireless network and be able to roam freely about your home and property without having to reconnect to a different access point or other network and remain online the whole time? Welcome to the world of mesh Wi-Fi networking, a relatively new but proven technology. Typically, you can place 2 or 3 mesh devices around your home and be able to roam around the entire environment seamlessly. Mesh Wi-Fi ensures that you have a strong signal and seamless connections wherever you go. Another advantage of a mesh system is that you can place a mesh device wherever you need it. For example, if you have a garage, a basement, or second floor that has no need for wireless right now, you don't need to place a device to cover those locations. But say a year goes by and you find you're all of a sudden in need of extra signal in those same locations, well, just purchase an additional mesh device and poof! Now you have additional signal where you didn't have it previously, and it all works seamlessly. Setting up a mesh system is also fairly easy. For most systems, you simply download an app, answer a few questions, perform a few basic connections, and you're all set. Setting up a mesh Wi-Fi system as compared to the older style access points and repeaters is very easy, and in addition, if you're used to using repeaters, mesh Wi-Fi broadcasts only the single network ID or SSID, whereas repeaters typically had additional IDs or networks that you had to connect to as you moved around. The only downside of a mesh system is the actual cost of it. Although prices have come down in recent years, they're still expensive. For a good mesh system, you're going to be shelling out a little more than you would for a simple good Wi-Fi router. But you're getting additional coverage, roaming abilities, and other technologies that the other devices can't even dream of. The only other thing is that you'll have more than one device to regularly update and manage. But with the capabilities and schedulers built into the devices, keeping them up to date is more of a dream nowadays rather than a nightmare. Not sure which mesh system to look at? Well, here's some of the best systems on the market in 2023. Some are a little more expensive than others, some are easier than others to manage and maintain, but all will blanket your home with voluminous amounts of Wi-Fi coverage. Netgear Orbi Wi-Fi 6E, the TP-Link Deco BE85, if you want to jump on the Wi-Fi 7 bandwagon. The Asus ROG Capture GT6, Aero Pro 6E, the Linksys Atlas Max 6E, and the Google Nest Wi-Fi Pro 6E. So now, there are users out there who either refuse to believe in mesh technology or refuse to listen to a recommendation to use it. It's not like I'm asking for you to believe in unicorns or I'm asking for a kidney. Also, keep in mind that if you have crappy internet before you got your mesh Wi-Fi system and you didn't fix that first, well, guess what? You're still going to have that same crappy internet problem even with a mesh system. Mesh is good, but it's not a miracle cure. And lastly, you need to keep in mind the size of the space you're trying to cover. Most mesh systems come with 2 or 3 modules, but if you live in a McMansion, you may need additional devices for coverage. The beauty of mesh systems is that you can purchase and easily install additional modules or devices as needed. Alright, Tech Warriors, that's enough grumbling for one day. Remember, while technology can be a massive headache, it also keeps our world turning, even if it sometimes feels like it's turning that world upside down. If you got a chuckle, learn something, or just enjoyed watching me lose my marbles, give this video a thumbs up. It's just down there waiting for you to click on it. And if you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button as well. It's free, and it really helps to keep us bringing information and more to the channel. Oh, and lastly, hit that notification bell so as not to miss it when more Grumpy Wisdom is posted to the channel. Until next time, this is the Grumpy Sysadmin logging out so you don't have to. And remember, stay grumpy.